Hey there, travelers. It is cherry blossom season here in Washington, D.C. And right now we're we're right at the Smithsonian Museums in the mall area. And we're going to check out, obviously, the cherry blossoms and the monuments right by the Tidal Basin. But before we go check that out, I would like you to like, subscribe, and comment. I want to hear what your favorite season is and why it's your favorite season. So let's go walk along the mall to the Tidal Basin. All right, we are walking along the mall here, and it's roughly a 2-mile stretch from the beginning, which is at the U.S. Capitol, to the Washington Monument. So if you're out for a jog, you can get a nice little exercise with it, which the mall, I have to say, is a huge hub of activity. I mean, a lot of people come here just to have a picnic, but I mean, they have festivals, food trucks, performances, all different kinds of events. Now, around the mall here, we have the Smithsonian Museums, which I think my personal favorite is the Air and Space. But you can tell me which one is your favorite in the comments below. But most importantly, they're all free museums. So that's always a plus. But we'll walk towards the Tidal Basin here, see the cherry blossoms. So I'll check in once we're there. All right, we've walked along the mall, and like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of food trucks in this area, and we got some tacos, got some chorizo tacos in pineapple soda here. But right behind me, you can see the Washington Monument, which is iconic for Washington, D.C. here. And it is over 555 feet tall. They started construction back in 1845. And you may be able to notice 1844. 1854. Okay.
Keep going.
So they started construction in 1854. And as you can see, there's a different coloration of stones, which they stopped construction because they ran out of money. And then when they picked up construction, they actually got the remaining stones from a different quarry. So you have two different stones in the structure, which is kind of cool to see. All right, we made it to the World War II monument, which is special to my heart because my grandfather fought in World War II. And along the monument, each pillar is like each state or U.S. territory dedicated to the men and women that fought in that state. And then there's also a section for the people that fought on the Atlantic side as well as the Pacific side. So it kind of honors both sides of the sea for all the veterans that fought in the war. But as we continue, we're going to head to the Lincoln Memorial next. But in the meantime, we're just gonna check this out a little bit. So we'll see you on the path. All right, we made it to the Tidal Basin. We checked out MLK, Martin Luther King Monument, and a few of the cherry blossoms. And guess what? The Cherry Festival, even though it's not supposed to start until tomorrow, they have a couple tents set up. They have some food truck, also some beer, and they have some musicians tuning up behind us here. But I got the special, the Cherry Blossom Festival Farmhouse Ale, which tastes pretty good. Thought it was going to be sweeter, but not too bad. But we're going to enjoy this pleasant surprise, considering we were not planning on seeing any of the festivities since we came here a day early. But we'll check it out and then head down further into the Tidal Basin and the Thomas Memorial. So let's continue on the path.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson, yes. All right, we are walking along the path here with the Tidal Basin, and we're checking out a lot of the cherry blossoms, which we came a couple days before peak bloom, which, I mean, I still think it looks pretty beautiful, at least in my opinion. But it's supposed to be peak bloom and a little bit more pink when it's at its full coloration. But anyway, the trees came over in about 1912 as a gift from Japan, and then the first festival was in 1935. And ever since that point, it's kind of become like a staple, not just from a historic standpoint, but like a cultural staple of the DC area. And it's become like world famous for this particular festival and the trees. So you have like a lot of people that come out for the festival and to see the trees and take a picture. So we're going to continue on our path here to the Jefferson Memorial. All right, we made it to Jefferson Memorial, and it's pretty cool. The next thing that we're gonna do is try to find a spot for the sunset. From what we've seen with the photos online, it should be pretty epic. But after the sunset, we're gonna head home, but our next video is gonna be with Longwood Gardens. And it's gonna be everything spring that they have there. I think we saw some tulips, any flower blossoms that they have. So we're looking forward to that, because our last time that we've been to Longwood, the Christmas special, which was pretty cool. So hopefully we'll see you next time on our video. But like, subscribe, and also comment what your favorite season is. But we'll see you on the journey. Until next time.